Hello Internet, thank you so much for joining me in this super fun upper body workout. Looky what I have here, these fun gymnastic ring type things. This is it. This is me, how I'm officially going to do pull-ups from here on out. This to me is just much better. I think it will help mitigate some of my upper body crookedness because I could tell my naughty right side where the lat my back kind of goes weird and things don't engage properly and leads to some crookedness when I'm just doing the regular, call it connected pull-ups, the standard pull-ups. I allow the crookedness, or it's less in my control. The crookedness is less in my control, obviously, when something is completely connected. It's that way for obviously barbell movements as well. But I think that the way that I was doing pull-ups was probably contributing to some of that crookedness, because I could tell that was sort of the one thing where I thought, I mean, I know how important pull-ups are and I don't ever want to get rid of them, but I can also tell that it's contributing more to my imbalances than other movements that I'm doing, connected or not. And obviously I didn't want to stop doing them. They're too important for the back development that I have, and I like them too much. So herein lies the solution: these rings. I could tell that right side wanted to be like, okay, I'm done. And then it was like, no, I can't be done because I'm all on my own here. So, sorry, that was lame. But you get the idea. This is how I like doing them. I think this will reduce injury. And honestly, they just felt better overall. And I was surprised that for the first 2 sets, I got 6 reps. So it's really not, I thought maybe I'll get like 3. So it's not like my sets are starting basically at square one. So I think I might get pretty strong with these, honestly. I mean, I don't want to be too optimistic. I don't know, why wouldn't I? No, I do want to be optimistic. I'm going to get sets of 12. Anyway, so I wanted to make my upper body workouts more fun. That was the first solution, to make them more fun. Here's also the next solution. My old good chum, the overhead press. This is my favorite, like, upper body. This is my favorite press movement, maybe my favorite upper body movement. I stopped doing them because I really wanted to get away from all the things that I was doing powerlifting wise, because it would get too much in my head if I was changing up goals to be doing the things that used to be so important number wise. So I stopped doing them, and I was doing seated Z press. Well, that's what Z press is. Anyway, I was doing Z press, and Z press was so freaking boring because I was never adding reps, never adding weight, like I said to you guys last video or the other video a little while ago. And so I didn't know what to do, and I'm like, you know what, screw it. This is like my favorite thing to do. I find it so fun. I'm decently good at it, but I just had to force myself not to do sets that are too low rep, to kind of get back into the, I don't know, aggressive triples, that's all that matters kind of mindset, because obviously I still want to be more in the hypertrophy realm of things. So just keeping the reps higher. This, I got 3 sets of 7 at 75 pounds. So honestly, like, I don't even think it's that bad compared to my old numbers when it used to be, when strength was the priority. I mean, it's hard to tell when I was doing like triples, doubles and singles way more often, and my highest set would be like 5. It's kind of hard to tell, but I know that it was like 100 pounds times 1 was my 1 rep max. And I think I was at like maybe 80 pounds for 6. I don't think I ever did 80 times 7. So 75 times 7, like, I'm not really that far from what I was doing, even though I haven't done it in a really long time. So, I mean, overall, I felt really strong today, better than I have in a while. I don't know if y'all can relate, but it really feels like my weekday workouts feel like exercise, and these weekend ones really feel like training. So both my workouts on the weekend, like my leg day yesterday and this upper body day, this was just what the doctor ordered. This was really what I needed, because these were awesome. Both these workouts are awesome. I really enjoyed myself, and it was good because the work week workouts are just rushed. I don't have very much energy. I kind of just want to get out there. I'm just doing whatever, trying to superset everything. They don't feel very organized, and so I think I need to plan those better so that they're not so drastically different than how the weekend ones are. I want all my workouts to feel like training, and not just moving, if you guys understand, kind of what I mean by that. Anyways, getting into a little bit of my topic today, now that I've successfully rambled and wasted away half the video time. Well, something I was thinking about, it's like, it's pretty obvious to say. I think that there's a lot of people involved in fitness, a lot of people in the fitness industry that are insecure. And I think a lot of insecure people like get into it. That's to begin with. A lot of us were probably bullied. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think fitness is a fantastic way to build confidence and to feel better about yourself, to kind of regain control, especially if you were bullied or tormented or whatever. Like in my case, um, I remember when I was like 15 or 16 and I was at the local rec center, and a couple of girls that used to bully me came in, and I was doing the lat pull down, and one of the girls that bullied me tried to do the lat pull down right after me and didn't want to like lower the weight, and she couldn't budge it. And it was like the greatest feeling ever. That to me, I was like in that moment, I'm like, this is my thing. I've decided from here on out, this is my thing. It was a really, really good feeling. And I don't think that there's anything necessarily toxic or wrong with that. What's toxic about the insecurity is when it lingers, and that when it like seeps out in these comments of jealousy. And like you see a lot in the comment section, and I don't just refer to mine. I mean, though of course it does happen in mine too, but you see these things where people, for one, okay, it's like if you're not Instagram impressive, the way, I'm sure you guys understand what I mean, but if you're not Instagram impressive, then they'll put you down for being that. They'll put you down for not being strong or whatever. But then when you are Instagram impressive, they'll just accuse you of using steroids or whatever it is. So you can't really win in that regard. People, every time anybody's doing anything impressive, everybody in the comments or whatever, a ton of people in the comments just say that they're using steroids, or that there's no way they could be natural, even though they're just good at it, and nothing else screams unnatural. I mean, you never know. Honestly, you never know. But it's like that's their first thing, because it's a protective thing in their mind, because they can't achieve that level. So then they have to say it in their mind and then say it in the comment section. And another thing that's really rampant out there is the fear mongering about injuries. So when people see people doing things that they themselves are not capable of doing, the first thing they like to do is run into the comment sections and be like, you're going to hurt yourself. There's so much fear mongering about injuries. Like, whoa, you're doing that like that. You're going to hurt yourself. This is going to hurt you. And it's like, God, shut up. Like that kind of stuff. It drives me nuts that just people are making their own insecurities other people's problems. And it's like, I don't know why people can't keep those kinds of insecurity things in their head. I mean, it could be that they don't know, they don't have enough self-awareness to know why they feel compelled to leave this comment at all. They don't understand, they haven't stopped to think about their intentions as to why they feel this sudden urge to leave their comment. They're just immediately, their brain goes into defense mode, and their brain is telling them this is why they're this good, or this is going to hurt them, so you have to leave this comment. And it's like, it's this weird like knee-jerk protective reaction. And I will be transparent, because my channel is far too transparent, I would say. But it's like I go out there and I say, like, I know that I am an insecure person in certain areas of my life, but then I see things like this and I start to question, how insecure am I really? Because I don't leave comments like this, because if I did, I would feel pathetic. But I will sometimes think the thoughts. For example, I think the main thing is if I see really, really strong women who are also very, very slim, these like crazy, super slim women that are still somehow squatting like 300 pounds, or these very, very slim, muscular women that are benching almost 200 pounds. And my first thought is never like steroids. I don't know. I never know. Some women are just freak strong. But they also somehow got that way without getting fat. The feats I was never able to accomplish. In my head, I think the jealous thoughts. In my head, I try to do protective things, or I just can tell that I am feeling the emotion of jealousy. I know that. And it's not like I do that with every single situation. It's not like every time I see a fit woman, I feel threatened or anything like that. I don't mean that. But when I do see these extreme kind of freak of nature strength movements, I can tell that I feel the emotion of jealousy, but I would never say anything. I would never then go into the comment sections and try to put this person down, because somehow that helps me get through it. So then I start to question, like, how insecure am I really? I mean, I'm insecure about some areas of my life. I'm insecure about some things that I don't have. I'm insecure, I guess, when it comes to like guys, or talking to guys, or like appearance wise in that regard, maybe when it comes to guys, but that's just because that's a lackluster area of my life. But I don't think, maybe I'm not as deeply wounded or insecure as I thought I was, or maybe I'm not deeply wounded and insecure as I used to be. Maybe it's just a maturity thing. Cue the violins now that I'm almost 40, according to large percentage of the world. I'm very old. But I think that's something to sort of, I don't take a moment to reflect upon and feel grateful about, because I'm glad that I don't do that kind of toxic behavior, because there's way too much of that in the fitness industry. There's way too much insecure, crap behavior that goes on in the fitness industry. Like it can be a very, very negative thing, a negative place. And I think I read a comment one time in my section that was so true. I might butcher it, but something about how the fitness industry is both the most wonderful, supportive, group of people and the most toxic and insecure group of people somehow at the same time. It's like these two extremes. Where it's just really, really lifting one another up, and you'll find those really wholesome places. It's just really, really lift people up. There's certainly a lot of that supportive stuff that goes on in my channel, which is fantastic. And so you do see that, and it's great to see, but then you can turn around and on a video presented that is almost identical to the other one, yet for some reason this comment section is just filled with haters. And it doesn't seem like it's necessarily rhyme or reason. It's just maybe the algorithms of who it reaches, or the way the weather blows, the way the wind blows on social media that day. But I don't know. I think I just wish that people would be a little bit more self-aware. I feel like there's frickin' T800 is more self-aware than a lot of y'all out there. Not you guys, you know what I mean, but a lot of people out there that just feel like they can't even stop for one moment and say to themselves, wait, why am I even leaving this comment? Is this, do I really think this? Do I really think this person is going to hurt themselves simply because they're doing something that I am not capable of doing? Or do deep down, I wish that I could do this, and that the only way that I can cope with not being able to do this is if I put this person down? Like, I just wish people would take 5 seconds before they leave comments sometimes. If I could have one wish, well, no, that wouldn't be the wish that I'd have. I don't know what my one wish would be. But I feel like maybe with the job I have and the way my life is right now, I think maybe I already got my one wish. So I'm not going to jinx that. Anyway, I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend or fantastic workouts this weekend, just like I had, because these 2 sessions were killer. So I'm glad you guys could join me today. Bye. Okay, somebody's at the door. Somebody's here. Who could that be? Come on in, Nana. Come on in. What's wrong? Hi.